My name is Amber, I go by they, them, and I'm the founder of Queer Art Gym. Queer Art Gym is basically like a community of people who really love arts and crafts and being creative. And the idea is that we come together once a month and we do arts and crafts. Like everybody brings their own project to work on. It's a bit like the music jam that you have with instruments, but then with arts. So then everybody brings their own project, we sit down and we craft and we jam together. And usually people get really inspired by each other, and yeah, the sense of community is very strong, and yeah, that's what we do. Well, Queer Art Gym actually started as an initiative that I came up with after joining an Erasmusplus project in Almen, here in the Netherlands. The project was called Queer Ambassadors, and in that project it was very focused on like a queer advocacy, activism, and like community building. And after I came back from that project, I had this idea of inviting a few friends over to do a craft afternoon together. And we met just at my apartment. We were doing arts and crafts, and it was very nice. And then we had a potluck dinner together, and then afterwards people kept asking me, when is the next one? So yeah, I felt very I don't know, happy about it, that people want it. So then I started to organize it every month, and it started to grow. Then at some point we had an Instagram page and people kept coming, and yeah, that's how it started. It was an idea, and then it grew to something. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many years is it now?
2 years, almost, yes.
Okay.
Yes, so next to those monthly meetings, we also organize a lot of activities that come from the community. So people come up with an idea and then we make it happen. So to give you a bit of an example, like a few months ago, we organized a clothing swap where people could bring their clothes and then we could share them for free. And we also organized there's this event here in Eindhoven that's called Glow, and it's like light installations throughout the city, and we organized the group and we went together to that. And sometimes we organize picnics or just normal casual meetups. Next or end of this month we're going to a theme park here in the Netherlands as a group. So all of those activities kind of lower the threshold for queer people, because sometimes it's very intimidating to join those activities or those places alone. So then if you go with a group, it's suddenly much more accessible. So that's what we also like kind of focus on, to make that more possible. The response is very positive. I noticed that there's this very big need to be creative and to like express yourself through arts. And I feel like sometimes it's very hard for people, or for myself as well, to like express the way you are or everything that goes on within you with just words. But then if you use art, it suddenly becomes so much more accessible for many people. So I noticed that a lot of people are just using arts and those queer art gyms as a form of expression as well. And from the community, like I noticed that there's a big need for that, for those spaces, for like expression and flow and all of that, and safer spaces as well. So the response was very positive, or is very positive. Yeah, I think the main challenge we have in this city is the lack of space, because we are a fairly new initiative, and we are also not registered yet as a foundation or anything. So it is very hard to find a space where that could host us at this point. Like, we don't have much funding, we don't have much possibilities. We are just a group of people basically, and yeah, a lot of initiatives in Eindhoven face that challenge of like not being able to find a spot and like struggling because of that. And so that is something we also face very much. But yeah, for me it's kind of like an external factor. It's not something that is within us, but it's something outside of us. Well, I think the next step is trying to get funding. There are quite some possibilities here in the Netherlands for subsidies. So then we are now currently looking at the next steps, like what is the smart thing to do, like first make a foundation, or first request some subsidies where you don't need to be a foundation. So yeah, that is the next step. And then hopefully by the end of this year we can be already a foundation, and yeah, look for other options and cooperations and all of that. physically we are a bit all over the place at the moment because we don't have a space, but it's good to keep our socials and yeah, keep in touch this way. And we are at Queer Art Jam. If you type that in, you will find us on Instagram. I think the message is that it's very accessible for everybody. Like wherever you are in your journey, like our meetings are very accessible. You don't have to have a talent, you don't have to have a skill, you don't have to have anything. Like just show up as you are and you're very welcome. I guess I don't have like one specific moment, but I think there are a lot of moments of queer joy that we all experience collectively. And I think during every art jam, like there are moments when everybody's just like, yay, we're doing it, you know, it's so fun and so good. Yeah.
My name is Veerle, I'm 29 years old, I live in Tilburg, quite close to here, and I've been coming to queer art jams and been involved in the activities for about a year and a half, I think, and I've been really enjoying it.
I'm Judah. My pronouns are she and they. I'm 28 years old, and basically all my life I've lived in a town next to Eindhoven. I joined Queer Art Jam not even a year ago, I think.
I'm Fee, they, them, non-binary, 33 years old, and actually it's all a little bit new to me because it's been a journey of discovering myself recently. So I'm past the 30 years old, so that's an interesting thing in my life going on.
I think originally it was just really nice to go to the creative activities, to have sort of a motivation to keep working on arts and crafts projects instead of giving them up immediately. And I really like that idea, but sort of without planning to, it's really also become my queer community where I meet lots of different people with different stories and sort of been able to see the sort of range of different experiences, different identities there are, and it's been really nice connecting with like-minded people like that.
So about the Queer Art Jam, I really believe that's a very special place. It's a safe space with welcoming people that will embrace you really for who you are, and it's really diverse. You find people with all different backgrounds, and yeah, they will support you, they will celebrate your progress, they will support you when you need help. It's really a community of people who are genuinely happy for seeing you by who you are. Oh, and there's art, by the way, there's also art. There's a lot of art going on in that room, yes.
I think what I like most about it is it's not a lot of pressure. I don't have to show up a certain way or behave a certain way. I can just show up the way I am, whether it's all excited and extroverted, or I'm feeling more tired and I can just do my own thing. I can just sort of show up the way I am and the way I'm feeling in the moment, and still just sort of like be accepted for who I am, and I really like that.
So what I like very much is that there are spaces, so I talk a lot. I love to have conversations and to share experiences, and also to hear from the others what's their type of art and what they're doing in the events and everything. And we have these spaces where actually we normally have two rooms or two spaces where one area is all about conversation, sharing experiences and everything, and the other part's really about crafting, about art, about doing something, making something. And we find space for doing all of that and to combine those things as well. So you can learn about somebody's experience. For instance, Marcy right now was teaching me how to pursue, because I've never tried that before. And then they were mentioning that, okay, I'm good with that. I tried, I'm taking classes, and then you just go back to the crafting room and you have the chance of learning new things and sharing it, and also showing them what's your form of art. And then this flexibility, this dynamic, the whole dynamic of the thing is, I think, what that I like the most about the events. About the community itself, is really, I think that you don't feel a barrier, because it's so honest and open with each other. We also come together to have, one of those days we had a member who was moving, and they were like, okay, I need to disassemble furniture. And then everybody showed up to their places, and then we were like just helping them move and everything. So we really don't have the barrier of okay, this is the art event, we come here, we come together, we do our things, but we don't bring that to our lives, to our personal lives. So about the community is more because we really come together, and about the events is all about the dynamics of it.
So I met Amber, the organizer of Queer Art Jam, about a year ago, and then they just told me about Queer Art Jam, and at first I was like, I don't know about this. But then they kept telling me about it, and I joined the Pride event, and after that I joined more and more of the things they organize, because they do a lot. They're a very social person, and they love connecting people, and I think that's the main thing that Queer Art Jam does as well. Like, it's a nice spot to hang out and like meet new people, and do your crafts, but mainly I meet a lot of new people there, and it's lovely to see how many people join it already, and just how big of a group it is. And even though not everyone is there every time, it's a huge group, and everyone just loves each other. And even if you, I don't know, want to sit in a corner and just do your thing and not socialize at all, it's also fine. You're allowed to do whatever you want at Queer Art Jam. You don't even need to craft, really. If you just want to socialize, that's also fine. But I also really love the potlucks that we have each time. We all bring something small or big, if you want, to eat. So we have a dinner together, but you can also just bring a snack for during the crafting. Sometimes I forget to bring anything, and I just have an apple in my bag, and I cut it into pieces, and people are happy with the snack. Yeah, I just love how easygoing it is, and everyone is welcome, really. You can just bring yourself, and however much of yourself you want to bring that day. So even if that's 10%, that's fine. We'll make sure that you get the space that you need. And everyone loves sharing what they're working on in that moment, which is great. You pick up different crafts as well.
Yeah, I think going to Pride together last year, Eindhoven Pride, was really special, where we all would go to Amber's place together and prepare, have some drinks, make some signs, do our makeup, everything, and then go together as a group and really just celebrate Pride together. And that was just a really nice, happy day, and it's such a cool event. But I also think a lot of the highlights are in the small moments for me as well, where it's just the regular art jams and just the little moments where I would have conversations with strangers, get to know people, just joke around together and stuff. And I think those small moments are also really the best experiences.
I think that still one of the moments that I hold the dearest to myself is the very first time that I came here, and everybody was so excited. I had never met anyone in that room before, and they were so excited to show me what they were doing. And there was people working a little bit with cosplay, there was people painting, there was people doing some working with gluing and different types of jewelry as well, and that moment when I arrived and I was like, okay, I found my place. I found people who really are willing to listen to you as well, because everybody was asking, okay, and what about you? What's your thing? What you gonna do? And I hadn't brought any project or anything that day, and then they were like, oh, then maybe you can join me and do this thing together with me. Everybody was so inviting, so open. So that moment, it's not a particular art or a particular painting or a particular anything. It's just really the arriving and the welcoming. I think that's one thing that I will never forget.
I think each time we meet up, there's a little moment where I'm like, ah, yes, this is exactly why I join. Usually it's the conversation that goes haywire and just takes us to a very strange topic, but everyone joins in. Either that or a special hug that I share with someone. Yeah, there's always something that sparks so much joy that I take it with me for weeks after. I think what makes Queer Art Jam so special as well, there's a lot of people that join it each month, and a lot of people also just join whenever they can. But I think what makes it special is that it's not just Ember's baby anymore. They organized it, sure, they set it all up, and they make sure that each month there's a place to go, and they really are the drive of Queer Art Jam. But whenever they need help, there's always a few people who volunteer to help set it up, or I don't know, move stuff or whatever. And it's never the same people. There's always some new people, even if they only joined Queer Art Jam once a year ago or something, they will always show up, and I think that's what shows community the most, that people are tuned in and want to help whatever they have going on. And there's so many different lovely people in this group, and I really love seeing them all.
I think whether it's Queer Art Jam or anything else, it's just really nice to get to know other queer people, to get this feeling of belonging, of being able to be yourself, and to have a sense of community there, and a sense of doing life together and doing stuff together. And I think it's really nice that there's more and more different spaces for that, where it's not just either support groups or parties. If you're more into these sort of low-key gatherings, maybe you're not a big party person, there is still a space where you can have that sense of community, that sense of being part of the queer community in your own way. And I think that's really cool about things like Queer Art Jam, that there's just spaces for everyone now where they can be themselves and be part of queer community.
Okay, perfect. Because just like I said, there is people from so many different backgrounds with so many different experiences. I really think it's very hard that you're not gonna find anyone to join you in whatever you like here. Because really, besides all the way people welcome you and want to join you on whatever you do, the group's very diverse, so it's very nice to find friendship, really, and to enjoy time together. So I think that's one of the most important things that we should do, and therefore everybody should come to the Queer Art Jam. That's it.
So I live in a town directly next to Eindhoven, so I can even cycle to Eindhoven if I want to. But even though I've lived there all my life, I never really came to Eindhoven often, because there was never anything to do for me here, I felt like. And also, I'm not really a city person, so I'd rather, I don't know, hang out with people I knew from my studies in different cities, or just stay in my hometown and hang out with people there. But Queer Art Jam really has given me an opportunity and like a new insight into the city of Eindhoven, that there are people like me here, and that there's a ton of things that get organized that I would like to join as well, next to Queer Art Jam, which is the main activity I follow here, I would say. But it has really opened my eyes to how many lovely people live in the city, and yeah, given me more opportunities to, I don't know, meet new people and just, I don't know, hang out with them in Eindhoven and see that this city is beautiful and not the same city as when I was a kid, basically, which is lovely. Yeah. Please come to Queer Art Jam, because it's a lovely space to just be yourself and do your thing and hang out with people and meet new lovely people, and we love meeting you as well.